So Caitlin didn't wear 22 when she was a kid. She's not going to be wearing 22 now. And it's one of those things where it was just obvious. But now at least Caitlin Clark talked about it herself, because people still, to this day, were telling me I was wrong and the Team USA had it out for Caitlin by telling her she couldn't wear 22. Let's take a listen.
Picture with Cameron Brink rocking number 17.
I know.
Where'd the 1-7 come? Was that just a jersey
I didn't get to pick,
you get?
but
I was about to say, for these practices, they kind of
17's
just
not
hand
the
you
best
over.
number ever. I wouldn't have picked.
Look at her expression when she says 17 isn't the best number. That reaction isn't just mild disappointment. It reflects months of frustration after nonstop talk and conspiracy theories about how she was treated by Team USA. The real reason Caitlin Clark wore number 17 at the Team USA camp tells a story most fans got wrong and exposes a big misunderstanding about how international basketball actually works.
Like, have been on the national team prior, get to continue wearing their jersey, like that practice number jersey or their jersey, obviously until like they're done playing on the Olympic team or whatever happens for the next Olympics. And then all us newcomers, there was a lot of young people at that camp. We just get assigned a random number. I guess I got 17. Nobody asked me, but it was fine.
And they also made sure to not give anyone their actual number. They made sure to not give anyone 22. They didn't give Citron 22. They didn't give 22 to Caitlin. They didn't give Paige 5, obviously, or Angel 5.
Here's what really happened. Team USA follows a long-standing rule. Any player who makes the Olympic team keeps their practice jersey number permanently. Veterans like Breanna Stewart and Aya Wilson already have their numbers locked in. Because of that, new players at camp are simply given whatever numbers are still available. There are no special cases, not for LeBron, not for Diana Taurasi, and not for Caitlin Clark. But during the July 2024 training camp, a different story took over social media. Fans claimed Team USA intentionally gave Caitlin the number 17 to disrespect her. Many believe the Federation was snubbing her by refusing to let her wear number 22. Some even went further, suggesting this decision played a role in her not making the Olympic roster, as if denying her number was a way to push her out.
Yeah, I would say 17 is not a but. 17 used to literally be banned in FIBA. You were not allowed wearing number 17, 18, or 16 through 19. Every other number was fine. These referees, the sign was 2-1 for 21, 2-2, 22, 2-3, 23. But the signs, the actual signs for 16, 17, and 18 for referees. 15 obviously was that. I'm pretty sure it's this, as a former ref, it's this, that.
Notice how she points out that number 17 was once completely unavailable with the Indiana Fever. At one time, number 16 through 19 couldn't be used because they matched referee hand signals. That's how detailed and strict jersey number rules can be in basketball. Yet many fans still convince themselves that Team USA system was somehow personal. In reality, it's much simpler. Team USA follows an old FIBA numbering tradition that limits jersey numbers to a specific range. France moved away from this rule about a decade ago, but the United States kept it as part of its tradition. It has nothing to do with favoring or targeting any player. It's about consistency and maintaining long-standing standards.
Your national teams in the past, we have like a bag tag, like a sticker on your backpack, and it says like all the players that have worn your jersey. So it'd be like,
so dope.
If you're number 6, it'd be like LeBron. I think he was number 6. Or like, and then you'd have the women's players and obviously all the men's players, which is really cool. You get to see who kind of has worn.
This detail alone should have shut down the controversy. Team USA gives every new player a bag tag that lists everyone who has ever worn that number. LeBron wore 6. Kobe wore multiple numbers during his career. The system is about history and legacy, not about making any player feel unwelcome. Caitlin had already seen this tradition while playing for junior national teams, so she knew it wasn't personal. Still, that didn't stop thousands of fans from inventing a completely false story about internal politics within Team USA.
Like, I really don't think they're going to change it for Caitlin. I really don't. I reckon my assumption is that they would be more likely to change the rule for Asia than for Caitlin. But you just never know. They might, you know. They might. I doubt it. But you just never know. You never, ever know.
Here's where things get more interesting. She explains that international basketball once required jersey numbers from 4 to 15, but that rule was changed years ago. Most countries dropped it. Team USA didn't. They made a choice to keep it. That's the key point. This is about tradition, not a rule they're forced to follow. They could change it anytime if they wanted to. So the real question is this: would Team USA ever break that tradition for Caitlin Clark? More specifically, would they allow her to wear number 22 if she makes the 2028 Olympic team? The answer is almost certainly no, and there's a clear reason why.
Why Team USA have for tradition. That actually, I didn't even realize that. That's actually why they did for tradition. But that makes a lot of sense now. That makes a lot of sense. That makes way too much sense. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. And that's why Caitlin Clark is obviously not wearing she's obviously not wearing the number 22, and I don't think she will probably ever wear number 22 for Team USA, and unless they change the rule. And will they change the rule for Caitlin? I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Notice how casually he talks about the idea of Team USA changing its rules. He says they'd likely do it for Aya Wilson before Caitlin Clark. That isn't a knock on Caitlin. It's simply how USA basketball works. Aya has already won Olympic gold and proven herself on that stage. Seniority matters. But there's a bigger issue most people overlook. USA basketball is the only national program in the world that has to convince players to take part. Nikola Jokic wants to play for Serbia. Luka Doncic prioritizes Slovenia. For most international stars, representing their country is the highest honor in basketball, often more meaningful than winning an NBA title. American players see it differently. For many WNBA stars, a league championship matters more than Olympic gold. Making the Olympic team is prestigious, but it's not the ultimate goal. That creates a unique situation where USA basketball has to make the experience appealing enough that players choose it over resting during the off-season.
Jokic wants to play for Serbia most of the time. Luka wants to play for Slovenia. Most of these international players would rather play for their country than play for their club. Whereas in America, it's the opposite. The NBA ring or WNBA ring means more. Whereas if Luka Doncic wins an Olympics, dude might retire. He literally might just say, you know what? I'm done with this sport. I'm done with playing in America. I'm going back to play with Real Madrid. I'm going back to play in Europe. And by the way, like I can see when it's all said and done, Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic leaving the NBA really early.
The comparison to European players matters a lot, and he's right about it. Players like Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic would risk everything to play for their national teams. If they suffered a career-ending injury, they could return to Europe, play for their home clubs, and finish where they began. Their national team comes first, their NBA career second. American players operate the opposite way. That isn't a criticism. It's simply a different basketball culture. But it means USA basketball has to be careful. Traditions and rules can't be changed for individual players, even stars, because that would weaken the entire system. That's what makes this controversy so unnecessary. Caitlin Clark never complained about wearing number 17. She understood the tradition right away and knew the rules before arriving at camp. The only people upset were fans who didn't understand how Team USA works. They created a story that lasted for months. Even after Caitlin explained the numbering system in interviews, some fans still insisted it was disrespectful. They wanted to believe she was being treated unfairly because it fit a broader narrative that the WNBA and basketball establishment don't value her properly. The facts tell a different story. Team USA invited her to training camp as a 22-year-old rookie. That alone is remarkable. Most players don't get that chance until they've spent several years proving themselves in the WNBA. The invitation was a sign of respect, not a snub. The jersey number debate highlights a bigger issue in how some fans follow WNBA news. They see one detail, like Caitlin wearing 17 instead of 22, and immediately assume the worst. They don't check the rules or the history. They jump to conclusions that confirm what they already believe. And with Caitlin Clark, this pattern keeps repeating. Every small moment gets overanalyzed. Every decision by coaches or officials is treated as proof of bias. Sometimes, though, A jersey number is just a jersey number assigned under a long-standing system that applies to everyone. The irony is that turning everything around Caitlin into a controversy actually makes her life harder. Instead of talking about basketball, she's forced to explain basic rules and traditions in interviews. She has to address drama that doesn't really exist. That's exhausting and takes attention away from her play on the court. Could Team USA change its numbering tradition someday? Possibly. Traditions evolve. But it won't happen because of online pressure or fan outrage. It would only change if USA Basketball decided the tradition no longer serves a purpose. And if that happens, it would apply to everyone, not just one player. The bigger question is whether Caitlin even wants it changed. Based on this interview, she seems completely fine with the system. She understands the history and values being part of that tradition. The controversy lives entirely in the minds of fans who think they're defending her when she doesn't need or want that defense. What this really highlights is the gap between casual fans and those who understand basketball culture. International basketball has different rules and traditions than college or the WNBA. Those differences exist for a reason, built over decades of history. Respecting that history is part of representing your country. So the next time you see Caitlin Clark wearing number 17 for Team USA, remember what it actually represents. It means she's part of a legacy shared by every great American player before her. It means she's walking the same path as legends of the game. And it means she earned her place at that camp through performance, not special treatment. The jersey number controversy was never real.